Righty, what's up guys? Evan Aldo here. Let me get the, excuse me, the whole video up here so you guys could see me as well. I had the thing added in. Let me just reset it, make sure we could get that there, and we should be good. Okay. Cool. So, New Year's Eve, big apologies. I haven't done a live stream in a little bit, and the market's, obviously fatigued as hell right now. So I can't blame you if you're not tuning in at the moment, But why I was absent a bit, I don't think I posted anything in a week. Obviously there was the holiday, and then I came down with the flu that was going around, especially in the Northeast. So yeah, that wasn't too fun. I'm pretty much 100% over it, but just a little bit of congestion still. So yeah, not the most fun situation. Not the most fun situation is what I will say. And yeah, but I guess maybe a good time to get sick because literally nothing has happened. This is just watching paint dry. I guess the betting odds kind of would go, or the probabilities kind of would go up and down, more to down, more to up, kind of as you confirm trigger waves and things here. So, there's just not too much money going in and out. We're not seeing what we need to see to really, move this price. I do think you will jump up to, daily 200, when would you hit that? By the end of January, I think that's a good goal still, 102. I do think there's going to be another, trial at 100 or 102, those kind of things. That's what I do think we definitely will see here. So yeah, and when you look here, you're going on the those areas, and then obviously if you zoom out, the big thing, weekly 200, that's high 50s right now. I do think the odds are pretty high that you'll come back and test that, kind of as you've seen me talk about. Not too much has happened in the week of my absence, let's say. Not too much has really happened. And yeah, 2 week right here, 38, okay, that's 2 week 200 SMA. When would you hit that if you do end up hitting that? I don't know, 45, 50K would make sense at some point, CryptoFace was talking about, I think he was saying the blood was going to be the worst in the summer. That's the time to get in. Yeah, probably. History would tell you, yeah. I think summer is probably, and what would that look like for Ethereum? You'd be looking at, this 200 week or 202 week SMA hit off of there. If it is summer, where would that be at that point? I don't know, 2000 in the summer? Big area to get in. If I had to guess here, and ETH could hold up better than Bitcoin. ETH could hold up better. You're getting at 19, 62, 60%. Those kind of areas. So, that's the kind of thing there. That's the kind of thing to realize. ETH could definitely do better than Bitcoin for the next couple of years. Now, I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm saying it can, trigger waves and such, trying to come up on ETH versus Bitcoin. I think this generally will come up against Bitcoin. Like I said, assuming ETH survives, and I do think it will. You went through all sorts of stuff. You went through pandemics. You went through anything as bad as you can imagine. Well, not as bad as you can imagine, but you went through a lot of bad stuff there, and you came all the way up. That kind of area came all the way up throughout there. And you kind of map it out like this, assuming that was your bottom, August 27th, another 2 years. 2 years of upwardness. What's up? Happy New Year, BGSP1. Oh, I know who you are. Yeah. Appreciate you, broski. Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. So let's see. Yeah, don't hold it against you guys if you guys skipped out on this one, but you know, I was looking at some evaluations, things against silver, things against gold. You know, obviously a lot of things have bled a lot against silver, but are they getting a jump, or will they sustain that jump there? I don't know. I do think that, well, when we get into weird stuff, I don't mean weird stuff as in weird altcoins. I mean like cycles and Chinese animals of the year, like the fire horse. Now, a lot of people know that it's going to be the year of the fire horse. However, a lot of people don't know when the last year of the fire horse was. Let's look at history. The last year of the fire horse was 1966. And if we go back to 1966, let's look at our 2-week here. And this is something that looks very, you know, like it wants to come down here for a typical kind of bear market. If we go all the way back to Evan's real in-depth, you know, technical analysis all the way. Ooh, what happened in 1966? So, yeah, you were most of 1966 pretty doggone bad. 25% correction. Now let's look at that same moving average. It's going to be our, yeah, 202-week moving average. I don't think it's going to go down that much, not 40%, but you know, I mean, if it is a 20%er, yeah, that's 27 right there. I don't think it's going to go down that much either, but something like this, 10 to 15% at least potentially. And you know, that would equate to typically what you see with these bear market years, and then probably a jump, you know, onward. And then kind of that's your recession there. Kind of maybe a slow bleed down for a couple of years, you know. Slow bleed down. So yeah, but we shall see. We shall see. And then right there, here's what I think kind of on gold versus SPY, at least. Gold versus SPY hitting these areas. I think you'll be kind of sideways against SPY for some years on gold, and then you'll kind of get a jump up when you see the next recession. Probably somewhere between 2028 to 2032. That's what I would kind of guess here. And yeah, trying to think what else here. So, you look at Bitcoin dominance, it's probably going to head down too. So, I mean, I know it's like picking a needle in a haystack, but if you could find the right alts, but it's so hard. Well, you'd have the trigger wave there on the 2-week, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think, yeah, I mean, if could you ride some of these up? I mean, Robinhood looks pretty cooked. I think everything, you know, let's just look at a few of the, you know, popular things. People like to talk about Hood. They like to go to the Hood. They like to talk about the Hood, you know. Like to use the trading platform, Robinhood. And yeah, going down right there. I mean, volatile puppy. You know, 150 easily could go down to 86, I would say. And then other ones that, well, let's look at Tesla first. You know, that, I told one of my friends too, he was, you know, talking about Elon's worth $700 billion, yada, 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 all that. And I'm like, man, you know what that means? That means it could be a sell signal. That means this could go down back to 350. You know, something of that nature. And that would equate somewhat well with a 10-15% correction for the S&P 500 at least in 2026. Let's look at Palantir as well. Take a look see at Palantir. Let's see there. And then those points. That does look like it could be it. This could be it. I mean, you could see another jump up. Apologies. I'm still getting over the flu slightly. You could see maybe another jump up in the beginning of 2026, but I do think that something like this, it really wants to come down, you know? And if we look at, you know, that 200, let me actually just switch it here, 200 moving average. Yeah, 51. I'm not, even if it does hit this point, it's probably not going to hit this at 51. Probably like 80 or something if you hit it in the summer. Yeah, let's go with what CryptoFace was saying. The summer is going to be bloody. This goes down to 80. 60% drop. Could be a good place to get in. Could be a good place to get in. Right there, yeah. Total 3 versus Bitcoin. I don't think it'll probably come up a little bit more, assuming the market comes up, but we'll see. Interesting, Brazilian, yeah. Are you from Brazil, bro? Guiota 8. Do you live in Brazil? I mean, if you think that the thing won't bleed more than 15%, it depends what you think other things could do. Generally, fiat currencies in general are not investments that are going to make you rich. However, maybe in a more rougher year or something like that could play out a lot better than everybody else. So, could work, sure, why not? And then if we look at right there, and then upward S&P 500. The thing too that your boy probably loses people with, Berkshire Hathaway. It's official. Greg Abel's the new one. Buffett's the chairman. 95-year-old chairman. But he's the chairman. And this is, yeah, trying to go up there. Green hike and ashy there. This is against the NASDAQ. I mean, I think all this is probably going to go down a bit, but it's finding what goes down the least. You know what I mean? I invest more than in crypto, man. Especially right now. I am not perma bull by any means. I would probably be getting a lot more viewers if I was perma bull. We've been bullish a while on this channel. We ain't bullish no more. I'll tell you that much. I got Berkshire Hathaway. I have gold. I have S&P 500. I have investments that you only buy when you're 100 years old, man. Let's see. Interested in these things. Brazil's a big country. I have not been to Brazil, at least not yet. Maybe I'll go. You know, I think it depends where you are in Brazil. A lot of people like Rio. You know, people like Rio. You know, Florianópolis. Am I pronouncing that? That's the other beach town. There's places I'd be interested in definitely visiting in Brazil. You know, so yeah. So yeah. Well, appreciate you. But yeah. And let's see, XRP. So he was asking me to look at XRP. And let's see. Right there, kind of jump in. Hype. Yeah, hype's been I think XRP could bounce from here. Let's also look at hype. Yeah, good idea. I'm not. This is one. Yeah, everybody's talked about Hyperliquid. I mean, it did kind of good. You know, I think people probably started talking about here, went up a little bit. It fell off, excuse me. So yeah, right there, 25, 22, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I think it probably will go down farther. I want to see, I want to see something survive. I want to see what can survive and perform well against, Bitcoin over the next 4 to 6 months. That's the stuff I want, man. The stuff that can outperform Bitcoin over the next 4 to 6 months. That's the stuff that's really important here. So yeah. Yeah. So the Berkshire Hathaway one, and then let's look at the ETH Bitcoin. I mean, other individual altcoins that. I mean, there's people calling for altcoin season in 2026. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, but we'll see. I mean, there's just so many alts, There's just so many alts. Even the president's got 2 altcoins, Wonder how his altcoins are doing. Was this well, if he got out around here like I did, not too bad. But ooh, 74% downward. Rough situation with that Cardano, But yeah. We'll see what happens with these. I mean, it's just definitely not the, you look at a few, it just gets depressing. I mean, Avalanche, a lot of people have given up on it, including myself to a certain extent, sadly. The same thing could be said about Polygon. A lot of people have given up with it, including myself to a certain extent. But I mean, the thing is too, like your boy got out, like around here, these parts, around here. And I avoided a 50% drop, but still, in the grand scheme of things, not too good. Not too good at all. I mean, that altcoin market, man, not too good. Atom, well, I mean, Atom was never something that really, this wasn't something that's done well, since the last bull run, but yeah, last altcoin bull run, I should say. Big area though. We'll see what happens. So let's see. That was Atom. Trying to think if there's anything else at the top of my head. I wanted to look at. I don't know. Did this go to 0? Oh, had a nice September 23 though. I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you look at these, you're just like, oh, polka dots, another. Yeah, man. I'm just looking at where I got out, and it wasn't even, here. Oh, saved myself 50% of pain. I ain't buying that back now, right now. Definitely not. There, 51% down. I'm just thinking here. Do I think ETH is a good investment? I'll say this, like out of any crypto right now, even including Bitcoin to a certain extent, yes. But I do think I would want it at a better deal than it's at now. I would be looking at 2,000, 1,800 to 2,000, kind of those areas. And I've been saying that for a while. It's a patience game, it's good deals. It's like, what is, there's not much good deals, kind of like what Crypto Face's previous, video I uploaded either today or yesterday. Like I don't think he used that wordage, but like, he's basically said, nothing looks that attractive right now. Which is what I've been saying for, a couple weeks, month and a half, But yeah. So let's see, that was ApeCoin. I think this is pretty cooked. Let's see. 6-7 coin. Yeah, you knew that. That one did that. Okay, yeah. Got some more relevance. Bitcoin 2. Notice the 2 aspect. Yeah. Who cares about this? So yeah, I think that. Well, let's look at gold and silver. Those are worth looking at. I think they're pretty cooked. Maybe one last jump up to 47, 48. Silver's a blow off top. Now, I don't think they're going to get completely wrecked, but, you know, you want a healthy correction or something. You know, maybe down to 33. Probably 3K would be like the bottom. You know what I mean? 3K would be like more. Yeah, it's been kind of choppy here. 3K would be like. That's pretty good value. You know what I mean? Like, what would that look like if you were to, yeah, I mean, October, somewhere around there. I think summer is like the earliest you want to think about getting in, like buying, deploying a lot of capital on a lot of this stuff, I would say. So yeah, 6-7 coin. Yeah, I mean, there's a coin for anything you can imagine, man. You know, it's like no one would have guessed like Dave Portnoy would have came out with as many coins as he did. No one would have guessed Trump would have came out with as many coins as he did. You know, it's just all, and NFTs, mind you. I mean, this is still falling. There's Melania. But yeah, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have. You know, could have ever fathomed that things played out the way they have, you know. It's kind of just like a wild video game, if you know what I mean. It's like an NVIDIA, actually, yeah. I mean, that was like a pretty good top to me. You probably go down to 150, I would think. Curious where's your daily? Yeah, 160 would be there. I don't think you're going all the way down to April numbers, but it's possible. And this thing has volatility. I mean, if you can get a good deal on this, yeah, 40, 50% down, yeah. And that's like a good value, you know. You know, it's a $4.5 trillion market cap. If you can get like 2.5 trillion, you know, 2.2 trillion, pretty good deal in my opinion, half off, you know. It's kind of how you got to look at things to a certain extent. So yeah, I think that Apple's kind of cooked. You know, like everything else to a certain extent. Yeah, that's a big kind of top there. I mean, this is kind of like setting up as one of those like textbook. You know, you just hit the point. You know, end of the year, and then people sell because it's natural. You know, they sell because it's natural. I think Apple could go back to 220. Probably nothing too insane, but yeah. Excuse me. Amazon. One of the things they had this high, yeah, early November. I mean, you probably, like I mentioned, I mean, January could be more of the sideways, maybe a little bit bullish, maybe probably a good shot at being bullish for Bitcoin and ETH, but after that, I think everything else kind of falls over. Bitcoin and ETH, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, you could sweep the lows, then jump, could jump, then sweep the lows after and break down farther. I don't know. If I had to guess right now, maybe I'd lean a little bit more bullish for a green January, you know, but nothing that crazy. By the way, if you guys want to trade, they do have a good promo, especially with BloFin. BloFin's best exchange in my opinion to use. Been using them for over a year now, I think. No KYC, no VPN. And, oh, this ended. Sorry about that. We got to get a new promo or something. Hopefully something updates. We can update that. But there's always 20% cash back off your fees with my link. So check it out if you guys are interested. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm sure you guys just want to enjoy your New Year's Eve. I do too. Did I buy my wealth with just one investment, or yeah, I don't know if I really understand that question. Did I already have some remaining capital? So when it wasn't just one investment overall. I think when I had a first big kind of break, it was in the 2021 bull run. A lot of it was Cardano, Matic, Ethereum, and then I had Bitcoin as well. But a lot of it was those three altcoins: Ethereum, Matic, Cardano. You know, probably over 10x overall. So that was huge. You know, in the next bull run, this one, I mean, I made some money with ETH, lost some money with altcoins. Not too terrible considering I sold them when I did, which was good. Made some money with Bitcoin as well. So yeah. Not sure I understand the web perm. So yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, just a lot of things. You know, do your research. Know what you're doing. You know when it's a patience game. Find that good deal. Find that good trade. You know, those things. If you're patient enough, usually you could find it. Easiest way for a beginner, you know, just buy on spot. Find the good deal. You could do prop trading. There's a lot of different things you could do. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to get going. You guys want to enjoy your New Year's. I want to enjoy my New Year's as well. I wanted to come on. You know, it's the first day I'm not completely, congested and nasally. So that's a good thing. Oh, it's okay. What's up, Jay Edits? Appreciate you. We'll look at Zcash. I'm not going to spend a ton of time today more on this. But yeah, I don't know. I would guess bearish. Downward a bit. If Bitcoin and everything else comes up, this probably will have another run at these highs, maybe make a higher high, maybe because everyone's trying to short this. So yeah, but I think it'll eventually come down, I think the next FOMC meeting, like the last thing I'll say here, guys, is like I think Powell is going to do all he can to, get down gold, get down silver, because that's inflationary. Whether he admits it or not, like those things point to more inflation and all that. And once you got in Volcker in the early 80s, then you knock down gold and you knock down silver. So yeah. Anyway, guys, smash the like button. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Happy New Year, guys.